In a stunning revelation that has sent shockwaves through Nigeria's education sector, the recently released results of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) have exposed a deeply troubling trend. Out of the 1,955,069 candidates who sat for the nationwide examination, a staggering 1.5 million scored below the 2.0 mark threshold, a benchmark often required for university admission. This means that approximately 78% of the candidates failed to meet the minimum score, raising serious questions about the state of education in the country and prompting urgent calls for reform. The UTME, a computer-based examination conducted annually, serves as the gateway for prospective undergraduates seeking admission into Nigeria's tertiary institutions. The exam tests candidates on critical thinking, speed, accuracy, and subject knowledge across 4 subjects, including the compulsory use of English, with a maximum score of 400. The sheer scale of this year's examination was evident in testing centers across the nation, where thousands of students gathered in large halls filled with rows of computers, their futures hanging in the balance as they tackled the 180 question test within a 2-hour time frame. The dismal performance has ignited a firestorm of debate, with many pointing to systemic failures that go far beyond the students themselves. Critics have highlighted a range of challenges that may have contributed to the poor results, including the grueling examination schedule. Reports indicate that some candidates were required to report to testing centers as early as 6:30 a.m., a time that many argue is not only inconvenient but also potentially unsafe. The anxiety and stress induced by such early check-ins, coupled with long travel distances for some students, may have significantly impacted their performance. Economic hardships faced by many Nigerian families have also been cited as a major factor. With rising poverty levels and the struggle to afford even basic necessities, many students lack the resources and conducive environments needed to prepare effectively for such a high-stakes exam. The inability to access quality education, learning materials, or even stable electricity for study has left countless candidates at a disadvantage. Furthermore, the broader socio-economic climate has led to a growing disillusionment with formal education, with some questioning the value of pursuing a university degree in a system where opportunities for graduates remain scarce. The results have also shed light on the broader challenges within Nigeria's education system, which has long been plagued by underinvestment and neglect. Despite the country's large population and potential, university enrollment remains alarmingly low compared to other nations. For context, Nigeria's total university enrollment stands at approximately 2 million students, a figure dwarfed by countries like Bangladesh, where a single university enrolls over 3.4 million students despite having a smaller population. This stark disparity underscores the consequences of decades of inadequate funding and policy failures in Nigeria's education sector, leaving millions of young people without access to the opportunities they need to thrive. Public reaction to the results has been swift and impassioned, with many taking to social media to express their frustration and concern. Some have blamed the students, accusing them of laziness and distraction, pointing to the pervasive influence of social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, which they argue have shortened attention spans and diverted focus from academics. Others, however, have directed their criticism at the examination body itself, arguing that the testing conditions and scheduling are inhumane and fail to account for the realities faced by students. There have also been calls to investigate the examination process, with some suggesting that errors in question setting or grading may have contributed to the high failure rate. The implications of these results are far-reaching, not only for the candidates who now face uncertain futures but also for the nation as a whole. Education is widely regarded as a cornerstone of national development, a critical tool for lifting people out of poverty and driving economic growth. The failure of such a large percentage of candidates to meet the minimum threshold for university admission raises alarming questions about the preparedness of Nigeria's youth for the challenges of the future. It also highlights the urgent need for a comprehensive overhaul of the education system, from primary to tertiary levels, to ensure that students are adequately prepared and supported to succeed. As the nation grapples with this educational crisis, stakeholders at all levels, government, educators, parents, and students are being called upon to take responsibility and work together to address the systemic issues at play. Proposals for reform include better teacher training, increased investment in educational infrastructure, and the provision of learning tools to bridge the gap for disadvantaged students. There is also a growing consensus that the examination process itself needs to be reevaluated, with more humane scheduling and conditions to reduce stress and ensure fairness for all candidates. For now, the 2025 UTME results stand as a sobering reminder of the challenges facing Nigeria's education system. They are not just numbers on a page, but a reflection of the dreams, aspirations, and potential of millions of young Nigerians. The question remains, will this be the wake-up call that finally spurs meaningful change, or will the cycle of failure and neglect continue to hold the nation back? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: the future of Nigeria depends on the actions taken today to ensure that every child has the opportunity to succeed.